too bright. There you go. And boom, boom, boom. Oh goodness, that's terrible. These filters look rough, man. I look rough no matter which filter I put on. You know, I'm just gonna leave it normal. Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropean. In today's video, we're going to discuss the one drop rule, okay? There has been a lot of things going on the internet lately about Tandy Newton, to be more specific, and about her skin tone and how she made it in Hollywood and so forth. I don't really think that's that important. However, it does semi-relate to what we're going to discuss tonight. Because in today's video, I wanted to discuss the guy on the thumbnail. Okay, so you see, if you've clicked on the thumbnail, you would have seen a guy's face. His name is MC Sham. He's a black British young guy. I think he's half my age, right? Less than half my age, I would probably assume. He sounds young anyway. But whilst he's young, he makes some pretty, I don't know, what's the word? His claims are pretty, do you know what? Strange enough, I could call them extreme, but they shouldn't be extreme. Hello, Amlika, hello. Be kind, he is just a little kid. Oh no, I'm not putting him down. Actually, I was going to commend him, actually. I kind of like, and you know, the fact that he's so young and he's able to come out and say whatever he wants to say in that way. You know, I would have loved to have been that open and honest and articulate with talking about my heritage and about my dark skin and how proud I was. I wasn't aware that I had dark skin, and it probably could have been a problem, but I wasn't aware that it was a problem because, I don't know, things sort of, I don't know why. Maybe call it ignorance, but I wasn't aware that I had a problem because, well, maybe I didn't have a problem. But I always thought, you know, that it was a blessing. So yeah, clearly he's been, you know, he's grown up in different times. He's grown up in times where he has had a lot of exposure to the internet, and therefore he's had a lot of exposure to American culture. And American culture, they do have this one drop rule, especially in American black culture. Black Americans have this one drop rule, which is something we don't have in most of the diaspora. But especially in Europe, we don't have that one drop rule. We don't have, so your great grandfather was black. Oh, okay, then in that case, you're black. We don't have that. So that's what I kind of wanted to ask. And I don't mind who answers this. You can be African American, you can be Black American, you can be, you know, from the diaspora. You could be African, you could be from the continent. I want to know, you know, should we be using this one drop rule throughout the continent, throughout the world, throughout the community, throughout, you know, the whole diaspora and the continent? Should we incorporate this one drop rule into all over the world? Because right now it's focused primarily in the United States. I don't use it. I've never used the one drop rule. I don't understand that. I never understood it, even when I was younger. So when I was younger, I would watch The Cosby Show, and I'd see Lisa Bonet, and I'd be like, who's the older girl? There was another girl on there as well, and she just looked, boom, she looked Caucasian. I'm like, what's going on here? It used to confuse me big time. sure it confused a lot of people at the time, that they had people on there who were a lot more racially ambiguous than what they should have been. It should have been perceived to be, right? Being both of their parents were generally brown skinned, right? So where did this happen? Where did it come from? Hello, Tonya. It's simply a rule white supremacy placed on us. It's always been heavily used in Louisiana. Okay, I understand that, but why do we use it? Why do we accept it? Right? If it was placed upon us by white supremacy, why do we, oh, okay then, why do we continue to believe that anyone who has one drop, is black? In the UK, we had this debate amongst the black British community. It was like, Barack Obama is the first black president. Because we didn't use the fact, when we knew he was of mixed heritage, we was like, what are they talking about? Why are they calling him black for? True, it could be that it's his ethnicity, because you use that as you could say that I am black ethnically, right? In America, you could call yourself black ethnically. I'm black American. That's an ethnicity. But I don't believe that he uses it, or we were using it, to denote his ethnicity. Americans use it to denote his race, which is super strange because he's half white, half black. Yeah, okay, I understand that. But listen, I understand that these people are not white. They're not white, right? They're not white. But are they black? Because they're not white, are they black? That's the question. It doesn't affect my daily life. I identify as black, as a black woman because of the women and men who raised me. I'm just fairer toned than they are. I understand that. I understand that. I've got a cousin as well who's red skinned. They call it. I know that some people are not going to like that term, but in Jamaica we use that term, red skinned. I have a cousin who's red skinned, and we don't have that problem in Jamaica. If anything, it's a bonus, right? In some parts of the world, it's a bonus to have lighter skin. And in others, it's not so much. But, MC Sham, the guy on the thumbnail, he's absolutely unapologetic about his stance. He's like, I don't believe in it, in this one drop rule. I don't, I'm not going to accept it. I shouldn't sit here talking for him, but he's absolutely vehement that he's not going to accept and call people who are of mixed race, black and white, black. People who have substantial amounts. I don't know how much, whether we can give an amount, but substantial amounts of DNA from another race. I'm not going to call them black anymore. Which is logic, right? It's logic. Right? I mean, you can't, certainly not the same, they're not going to be the same race as me, right? Because while I do possibly have some Euro Asiatic blood inside me somewhere, possibly, I don't know. The reality is, I don't have, my parents are both fairly dark-skinned people. So why, none of them are European. It's a weird one. Should we use it? Can we use it throughout the diaspora? If not, why not? Should you change it in America? Should you stop using this? Because if it's a white supremacist thing, why are you using it for? Why do you believe in it in America? if we don't believe in it anywhere else. Sorry guys, I'm just ignoring you. Like this, I can't show you now, but MC Sham has started a group, and this group, the only access you can have to this group is if you are my skin tone. That's it. He doesn't say it, but I have a strong feeling that's the way he's going. Is that right? That he's, you know, do we need this? Do we need this? Because, you know, do you know, the people who call themselves black people, of the lighter persuasion and their proximity to whiteness, does that mean that, oh, you know, we need something to counteract that? Oh, this is a heavy question. I don't even know whether I can answer this question. I'm going to tell you this. I'm being open here. I don't have a picture. I had a picture. I'm going to show you her later, perhaps if I stay on. I'm not going to stay on for long, guys, by the way. But there is a girl. My first experience, not my first, my second real experience of racism, you know, and knowing it was racism. My second real experience did not come from a white person. It came from somebody who was mixed race. It came from somebody who was mixed race. In school, she hated people like us. Really, it was hate. She was always going around like that. Mixed race girl. And not even light skinned mixed race or ambiguous mixed race. Like mixed race. Like, oh, you haven't missed anything, the last African. You're okay. I'm not stopping on for long. I just wanted to have a quick chat about this one drop rule and why it's being used, and should we continue using it, and, you know, could it further fragmentate us as a people? Because so he is going to discriminate against light-skinned Nigerians. Yeah. And that do you know what? I'm going to tell you this now. I wish he was here. I did ask him for an interview, but that was like ages ago. I should ask him to come back on. His points of views are really interesting. Really interesting. Many light-skinned Africans, for example, some Igbos, Fulanis, Kosher. Yeah, exactly. But what he seems to think that we are the original people, and that everything else came from us. Everything. So everything else, when you get the Khoisan and the, you know, hello Kwame, you know, you get all these different lighter skinned tribes and ethnicities in Africa. All those people are mixed basically. I think that's what he's saying, that they are mixed with something, one way or another. They are not black or fully black. There is something mixed in between there, and that's what gives them their lighter tone. Now I remember going live with him, and I disputed that. You know, I think, you know, whilst he, yeah, in theory, but it's not the case. It's not the case. We shouldn't think in black and white. That's ridiculous. We're human beings. We come in hundreds of ethnicities, hundreds of different cultures. Oh, what races do you have? Black, white, Asian. Yeah, it just sounds so ridiculous. It sounds so ridiculous to believe that on a continent like ours that is so diverse in terms of skin pigmentation, um, you know, everything else. It's ridiculous to think that there is only a black race, and it's called black, by the way. What other nation or people call themselves from the color? I don't. I don't do it. I stopped doing it ages ago. If he goes to Africa preaching his one drop rule, he will get behind. He will get his behind kicked. I know. I don't know if you noticed this, Amil Carr. He doesn't believe in the one drop rule at all. MC Sham does not believe in it at all. He doesn't believe or see people who are who have the DNA of other races, significant amounts of DNA, like those people who are mixed race or very light skinned. Is it Stephen Curry? Very light skinned. His dad, Del Curry. I remember him playing actually way back in the 90s. His dad, Del Curry, is quite light skinned, and then his mum's white. So would Stephen Curry to you guys be black? If you're an American, or I'm very interested to hear that, because I find that so weird. I do. I find it strange. But we as a people, we as black people as well, black people, we're beautiful people that we accept everybody that accepts us, you know. And this is the thing, I think we should start to see it as an ethnicity instead, especially in the United States of America, because it's clear that there are many people who are being shut out, in the darkness. No, that's a question, right? Really, it should be a question. Should we allow those people? Stephen Curry is heavily mixed. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He played for Charlotte, I remember. He's not as good as his son, though, is he? Dell wasn't as good as his son. Eden evolution. People are using this one drop rule to manipulatively to take advantage of both cultures, switching accordingly to convenience. I agree with that. I think you're going to get people who are of the lighter persuasion who will take advantage of that. And this is what I was thinking about Tandy Newton. She came out the other day and she was going on this guilt trip. I'm going to make a video about Tandy Newton because I don't think she was being herself. I think she was acting. I think she was being dramatic. I was reading her body language. And yeah, I mean, she's trained in theatrical. She's a theatrical actress, right? She can turn on the waterworks. She can cry, and seem upset. Hello, Ashanti. Love that name, Ashanti. He said Will Smith is not black. Wow, did he say that? Her. Wow. She was in Norbit. Which one was in Norbit? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Actually, the one drop did help politically in the United States, especially if you compare the United States situation in comparison to Brazil. Yeah, Brazil is really messed up. I have a feeling that we are going to have problems in the future with this. As you get more and more people like MC Sham, who is now creating, like, I don't know if you guys have heard this, I've said it earlier. Amilcar is not black, he's mixed. Yeah. No. You know, I don't like it when you say, oh yeah, he's mixed. Oh, we're all mixed. True to a certain degree. Race is very, very complicated. I wish it wasn't, but it is, unfortunately. I forgot what I was about to say. But I just think that Brazil threat is black people very poorly. Yeah, yeah. It's worse than the USA. Yes. It's Brazil's terrible. Yep, he thinks only people with very dark skin are black, while you have a lot of dark skinned people with nappy hair and admixture. You can't always tell. I tried to explain this to him. I tried to explain to him there was no such thing as a race called black. And bless him, you know, he's whilst he is quite intelligent, he is also a little bit naive. He is young, and he hasn't quite grasped the concept that people in Africa is so diverse. Africa is so diverse that he could go and travel throughout Africa and learn about the people, and he wouldn't even touch the tip of the iceberg. It really is. I suppose it's easier for us to just call ourselves black, but I think that people like myself, the boomer generation, or whatever you call us, I think we call Generation X or something. That generation, 70s and 80s, we don't understand this because, especially in the United Kingdom, because we were brought up differently and we never had that access or that exposure to American culture in that way. So I never knew, until I went to America, I never knew there was a light skin, dark skin thing. It was an American, like I learned it when I went to America, found it very peculiar then, and realized that it was something which was passed down from those days, and people just have embraced it, which is, oh dear. Eden evolution. Tandy's apology was weird, as can be, and forced. Yeah, exactly. She did nothing to so-called address her biracial concerns to balance her involvement in white supremacist ideology through job opportunities. That's very true, Eden evolution. She didn't say anything like that. And that's probably because she doesn't, deep down inside, she doesn't really care. I don't think she cares really. I think that, what you, hello, sweetheart. I think that what you got, yeah, baby. I think that what you got through that apology was somebody that was just looking for a bit of attention. And Tandy Newton is, she just needs to get over it, really. We don't need an apology. We have our own film industry. There are film industries with dark people in it. We have our own people. What are you apologizing for? She is of mixed heritage herself. Embrace that. Love yourself no matter what. I see a lot of people making these nasty videos about her. It doesn't matter. They shouldn't matter. Their opinion shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just get on with your life. You're beautiful. You have a beautiful daughter. You're successful. You're rich. You're famous. Get on with your goddamn life. Be happy. You've got more than what most people in this world could ever dream of. Stop being ridiculous. The fact that people refer to themselves as biracial seems offensive. After all, there is only one race, human. Biracial seems to imply that your parents are from Mars. Yeah. Do you know what? How much do you guys want to tie yourself to those people who came over to Africa and took us, namely descendants of slaves, took our forefathers, foreparents, took them over? How long are we going to continue using that language of theirs? By the way, I watched a documentary about Sudan, and I remember what you told me about diversity, and you were 100% right. Yeah, Sudan's wild. Do you know what Sudan stands for? The Su means black, and Dan means land. Black land. I wish I could have gone live properly tonight. But I would like to invite MC Sham to come on if he's watching. It'd be really interesting for him to come on and have a chat. I'm not sure if he will. Not sure if he will. It's I don't know. I have some apprehensions because I don't want this guy to change. There needs to always be balance in this world, and I think that you need to also have those people. There isn't enough people who are super proud of their dark black, their dark skin. I'm not even call it black. Their dark brown skin. This man is absolutely. He's like, boom, it's the best, and he's open about it. You see his picture, his thumbnail. He hasn't lightened it or nothing. That's his thumbnail. He's proud to be who he is. And everybody else, they can F off, right? They're not important. Their opinions are not important. And this is what I'm talking about with Tandy Newton. She should just accept the fact that she is who she is and enjoy it. Love herself. Love herself because of it, you know? You'll never make the mob happy, ever, you know? But, yeah, I'm going to save that for a video in its own right. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a body language analysis of that video. And see what I come out with. Because I saw some things on there already. I was like, she's an actress, but there are certain things that you can't hide. I think Tandy Newton is biracial, and she's had a biracial child, and her daughter is stunning. She doesn't look older than 13 or 14 years old. I don't know. She's a kid, but you know, she's beautiful. But I have this fear inside me that she's going to sell that child to the Hollywood elite once again, you know, that she's going to bring her into the industry as well. Worked for her, didn't it? Starring in multiple Tom Cruise movies, you know, and then she's on her series Westworld. She's got a lot of work. Oh, wait a minute. And Viola Davis and all these other guys have only come in, you know, it's a fashion accessory, isn't it? Yeah, get yourself a dark-skinned person, you know. Yeah. It's just cool to be dark-skinned and black at this moment. Okay, sorry, I'm going to read this. It's just come up. Africans are simple Africans. We don't call ourselves black. That's what the white man called dark-skinned people who lived among them in their society to justify them calling themselves white. Yeah, that's probably right, Ashanti. I like your picture, Ashanti. It's very nice. You will need to do a show on this. I will. I will. I'll do a proper show when I'm going to ask people to come in and everything else. I'm going to try and ask MC Sham to come in if he wants to come in. I've asked him before and he didn't reply to me. So fingers crossed he will actually come on. I have spoken to him before and he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy, but you know, I just think, yeah, I think the question is, do we need more MC Shams? Do we need more people who are hardcore pro black people? You know, like black people. That's it. Like, you know, unapologetic, unapologetic about that. Absolutely proud of it. You know, that is one thing we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss that. It's not easy thinking the dad had saw her mum like an exotic ornament. Yeah, mum is only spoke off to prove her blackness. Yeah, yeah, that's very true. It's very, very true. So guys, listen, I'm going to leave it there because I'm really tired. But I want to let you guys know that tomorrow I'm going to be making another video. I think I'm going to make the Tandy Newton video tomorrow because I really want to ask some really tough questions, okay? And then we're going to go live on the weekend. I'm going live. I've got another live going on Saturday morning, really early my time, like 6 in the morning. I'm not going to tell you guys about it yet, but it's an interview and it should be really interesting, okay? So guys, thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for spending 30 minutes with me. It's well appreciated. And yeah, I'll speak to you in very, very near future. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care and good night.